On Main Street and Speedway.
In and out of Jared's home.
This is the road I'm standing on.
The rain is coming down.
It was poll day today as we get ready for the Brickyard 400.
Back on the field for the Colts for the first time in 2 years.
The excitement is so amazing.
However, the highway reopened today.
First Division had the president and the vice president in it.
Fifth time in 2 years someone stole from this West Side business.
You couldn't even see the gray on these seats.
Lynn was driving erratically.
Day is en route to IU Methodist.
This right here, this is a drain.
Destroyed 2 homes and melted the neighbor's fence.
That woman lost her 20-year-old son.
It's been a very busy week for carjackings.
It's split pretty much down party lines.
You've heard it and seen it.
I couldn't protect my baby. My son could have lost his life, and I couldn't even protect my son.
The tears from a mother and the despair from a father. And even the sight of a teenage boy taking that long walk in cuffs after receiving a 55-year prison sentence for taking the life of a newlywed father-to-be with a gun.
We want to have a conversation with the community.
There's been meetings to address it.
I've been doing this for 17 years. I didn't hear anything in there today that I didn't hear 17 years ago.
And when the talking's done,
thank you for being here.
It appears the topic with teens with guns is more complicated than anyone ever expected. 15 minutes past 10 on an August 9th night.
Man, I was just minding my business.
Marcus Green just pulled up to his apartment. When it happened, a gun-carrying petite figure stood in his way with the pistol pointed right at Marcus's head.
When I seen his face, I was like, he got to be 14, 15 years old. Like, it was a whole baby. Like, really? Bro, you don't even have facial hair.
He wasn't a baby, but he was 15. And police say his name was Andre Green, a pistol-packing teen who carjacked a man who shared his last name, but the two were not related.
He jumped in the car. He said, back up before I shoot you. So I backed up, looked at the car, look at him as he's driving away.
Andre's joyriding would be short-lived. He died less than an hour later after police say officers shot him when he tried to ram a stolen car into officers.
These streets will literally kidnap your children. You know, give them this false illusion, put them in a body bag and send them right back to your house.
Tucked away in the basement of the Marion County Jail is where guns collected off the streets go to die. The firearms come in all shapes and sizes, and the pistols are shipped in boxes. Down here, where deputies bag them up and then tear them apart. The firearms were once sold underground, and some to teens.
First firearm up is a Mossberg.
Then one by one, these guns, which were once the predators, now become the prey. In fact, in 2014, 1,054 guns met this fate. And in the first 8 months of the year, 682 guns were destroyed as well. But prosecuting those who sell the guns to teens can be a monumental task.
How many shots have been fired?
Let's say a teen is caught with a gun. A parent is called and must give an officer permission to interview that teen. And if the teenager is actually charged, it complicates matters even more, because now the minor is a criminal defendant and he or she will have an attorney.
There's some really significant practical obstacles to finding out, how they're reaching a child in the first place.
Since Andre's death,
I didn't sleep for 2 weeks.
Marcus here, who's a teacher,
and I love education,
has had plenty of sleepless nights.
I would have tried to help them.
But Andre would never know that the very one who could offer help,
it's a personal choice,
would be the one he would pull a gun on.
He decided to start the whole night off wrong.
We boarded an international flight in New York, and it was clear from the moment we got on the plane that this was going to be a different experience. An 11-hour flight takes us from New York halfway around the world to Cairo. As soon as we get out on the road, we discover a difference in car travel, where the white lines are merely a suggestion. Amid the horn blowing and general chaos on the streets, we try to pick up on some Arabic while taking in the scenery.
Simple Arabic words like shukran for thank you, and you can say also min fadlak for please. Hello, it is marhaba.
Upon arriving at our hotel, we take in views along the Nile, spectacular perspectives of a city, much quieter from up here. Oh, our final view of the evening? Our next destination.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Sunrise. We are quickly reminded of the unique place we have journeyed to as an Islamic call to prayer echoes across the city.
Welcome to Carb Day, a chance for fans to get close to their favorite drivers, show off their spirit.
I get down to the nitty gritty, and that's true to the blue, left and right. That's out of sight like dynamite. I'm gonna drop the mic, boom, yeah.
And of course, celebrate IndyCar's biggest weekend.
Oh, it's definitely a party. I mean, we're up there just having a great time, enjoying some adult beverages.
To make it go off, IMS relies on those in yellow, with some giving blasts of encouragement. But not all sounds are the same. He's the reason why.
A lot of people call me the whistle man.
For 26 years, Richard Leneski has worn IMS yellow, but what makes him stand out? The things that hang around his neck.
This one I just got. This comes from Peru. It's a China whistle.
Leneski owns more than 100 different whistles, a variety of tools he says is needed to handle the traffic.
They fill up with saliva quite a bit, you know, and you have to keep switching until one drains out.
Each year he keeps coming back, not because of the amount of whistles, but the way he's found how to use them.
In those sharp blasts, you know, it usually gets the attention of the people.
He may produce more than 100 sounds, but each serves a purpose.
They all mean the same thing. Get out of the way.
The sound may get to your head, but the whistle man says it beats the alternative.
Get away from home.
Although Carb Day crowds aren't always better.
But then I get away from home and I got to listen to these people down here, so I don't know which is worse, my wife or the people.
It was just after 4:10 in the a.m., just outside an upscale print shop somewhere in Big City, USA, when a group of young men up to no good started smashing windows. What you're looking at here in the cloak of darkness is the third attempt in a 3-month span that left a 5-man crew with practically empty hands.
This is very heavy.
And this is what they left.
Why are you keeping this? It's a testament to our strength.
And it appeared this print shop strength grew muscles with more lenses and more cameras.
We have a constant feed to
But one of these cameras is not like the other. Take this one, for example. Perched atop this corner that says police. A resident purchased the $15,000 camera and then donated it to the police department, giving officers access to this corner 24/7.
bulk fulfillment.
And since then,
there's like a clear
those smash and grabs here,
as well as creasing.
well, they've stopped,
Unit, so it can do a 40-page booklet.
making it easier for Jeff here to do his job. But this did not happen overnight, and it didn't happen in Indy. It all unfolded 500 miles away in Atlanta, Georgia.
2512-126.
It's a city where the Atlanta Police Department can tap into 6,000 cameras at any given time.
1810 next runway.
Get this, the department owns less than 10% of those cameras. 90% of them are owned by people like you and me.
And the neighbors really like these signs.
You can find them in neighborhoods.
When we're calling PD, they immediately are able to pull up our camera footage.
They're also in the city's largest shopping complex, the Lenox Mall.
Would you say Atlanta is safer because of those cameras?
I would absolutely say that, and it's getting safer by the day.
911, what's location emergency?
Here is how it works. Whenever someone calls 911, the call comes into the Video Integration Center, and the 4 closest cameras to the area of the call automatically pop up.
Now they're looking at the scene real time. So while you're still on the phone, while the citizen is still on the phone calling 911, the police officers are already looking at those closest cameras.
These cameras were not a product of tax dollars. Instead, they were brought together from the public and private sector, from the people in Atlanta.
All up and down here, though.
And in some cases, the cameras were privately owned, and the owners agreed to integrate their cameras with the police feeds. But could this concept work here in Indy?
They're tied into it.
That's where we go next.
So those cameras are probably
We take that question to the chief of the IMPD.
Steady showers quickly filled potholes and flooded streets across Madison County Thursday. This sight might leave some homeowners nervous, but for Jennifer Cox, it's no surprise. I mean, how often do you see this each year?
At least 4 to 5 times a year.
Cox moved to this street 3 years ago without realizing the high water amenity it came with. It's not just your front,
No.
right?
No, it's the back. Yes. I live in a moat.
She's not the only one. The rainfall swallowed her street.
Their sign in the yard is almost completely covered up. It's like we're living in a flood zone, and you know, where's the help?
County highway crews say it's coming. For the first time, signs were added.
It was about time. Yes, it's certainly about time.
Highway crews also put devices in pipes to look for drainage issues.
We've checked on it every day this week.
The rainfall isn't just putting one neighborhood underwater. It's so bad the counties had to grab these bags and fill them up with sand to try and give neighbors here one last line of defense.
It's countywide. You just can't pick one certain area in the county. It's countywide.
So far, 2 roads are closed and 36 streets have high water signs. Cox's Road is one of them, and crews say they'll take a closer look at it once the water recedes.
Just be patient.
3 to 9.
I guess be patient with us.
A virtue Cox says is running thin, especially when she hears the pounding sound of an unwelcome guest.
I wish I could say it was oceanfront property, but it looks like it's a disaster area, honestly.
Yeah, it'll be good. Monday brought a final call for these IMS campers.
That's the last of them.
With the light of a torch.
See, even in the wind, you can light your cigar with this. Just don't burn your canopy down.
One of the last infield camping crews put a bow on the 101st running of the Indy 500.
It's kind of like we're at a funeral right now, you know, because it was so much fun, you know, doing all this stuff.
The fans may be trickling out, but the work to clean up after them is underway. 23 groups took to the grounds at 7 Monday morning.
We have a challenge to be done by 2:30, but I would be very shocked if we get that. Can you get this started?
Terry Downey and our youth church group from Anderson have cleaned IMS for a decade.
It's pretty messy, it's pretty gross work. I think I have beer all over my body now from today's efforts alone.
These cleaning crews are all unpaid volunteers, but there's an incentive for cleaning up all this trash. The more of these they pick up and put in the bags, the more cash they can get, because all this aluminum gets weighed, giving organizations about $10 a bag.
Several of our kids are going to get to go on mission trips this year that otherwise they might not be able to afford.
An unknowing donation is just another perk, these campers say, as all part of the experience.
Kind of sad to have the last cigar, huh?
It might be the last for this year, but these fans are ready to light to the 102nd running. Would you do it again?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, we've already planned.
Bringing my rubber boots next time, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I was born and raised in Indiana, but I forgot when the rain comes down, it comes down, it doesn't stop.
This is what makes the Monon Trail so popular.
Really awesome pool, but
Plenty of sunshine, bikers in place,
on your left.
and joggers in their lanes.
Broad Ripple is an authentic place where people enjoy art, they enjoy different types of people.
But just past 11:40 Tuesday night, a man with a bike on the Monon crosses paths with a stranger, and he's attacked and left unconscious without his bike.
For somebody to get robbed on this trail, that was a money thing.
News of the attack started to spread.
You're causing it to be less safe by promoting that there's a negative thing going on here.
And the news reached Shannon.
I think that you should think about how you communicate the message.
Who, as you can hear, wasn't too happy with our presence. She wanted to make sure we got the message out that Broad Ripple, despite what happened on Tuesday night, is still a safe place.
Well, I want people to know right off the bat that the Monon Trail is safe at all hours a day.
It's a message echoed by the district's commander.
Few incidents a year when over 800,000 people use this trail, this 10-mile trail, does not mean that it's unsafe.
But he's asking the public to use caution when using the trail at night, like going in pairs.
Yes, you have to be smart about when you're out late at night.
And that's a message Shannon here can agree to.
We have to start to work together to make sure places are secure. We have to start to think about each other.